we knew this was something that was coming. They have announced how you will be able to get 5-star perfect soul for Throat Ripper, as well as how you may potentially be able to get Packmaster. Hey you guys, it's Cece. Welcome back to my channel. So of course the Throat Ripper fusion has now completed, and there's been a bit of a lull, a bit of a wait in trying to see what type of event would be coming next. How do we actually get his perfect soul? Is this going to be a Titan event? Would it be a Hero Path event? And they have announced how we'll actually be able to do that. But they have also announced how you'll be able to get his companion if you missed out on this fusion. So Packmaster Shike was a fusion that happened last year. Now this was before I was playing Raid, so I myself did not actually get this champion, but I know a lot of you guys did, and you were all anticipating and waiting for how you would be able to get Throat Ripper, and they finally came out with Throat Ripper. And them as a combo is a very nice combo. Congrats to you guys if you got both, if you were waiting for them. Now, those of you who ended up doing Throat Ripper, but you didn't have Shike and you were waiting to see, because they told us and they announced like, hey, there is going to be a way that you will be able to get yourself Packmaster Shike. Well, now they have announced how you'll actually be able to do that. So this event is actually going to be starting on August the 15th, which is Friday, and they are launching an Orc Path. And this is how you're going to have that chance to get Packmaster Shike, as well as the 5-star perfect soul for Throat Ripper. So yes, it is going to be a path, Orc's Path. Now you will be able to get event points by getting artifacts and accessories, as well as summoning champions from shards, and the event will last 72 hours. So as of right now, this is the only information we have that we have been given. So we will see how many points it will actually take for everything and kind of deep analyze that. But for those of us that have been waiting and wondering how are we going to be able to get Packmaster if we don't have him, now we do at least know. I do think a lot of people anticipated a Hero's Path, at least for the 5-star perfect soul. I saw some speculation of people thinking like, is this going to be combined with how we can get Packmaster? Is he going to be something that is a progressive or shards or anything? And I think it kind of makes sense for them to do it in that structured way with a Hero's Path, to be like, it's right here, you need X amount of points and everything to actually go ahead and get him, versus it being something like a progressive or something like being a boosted chance to grab him. Tough to say if they're going to do anything else or if it's just going to be this. I do think it's probably just to actually get him, but hopefully this gives you guys a little bit of time to be able to prepare for it, because again, you only have 72 hours for event to actually go ahead and grab everything that you really need from it. The great thing about Raid in the community is that you guys will already figure this kind of stuff out before it's announced by them. So you are already doing the math, figuring out how many sacred shards would I potentially need to get both of them, how much energy would I need, because again, the way that you can actually get points is getting artifacts and accessories. So that right there is going to be farming, getting those dungeons, and of course summoning champions from shards. So looking at past events and everything and doing the math, just the soul was about 19 shards, and then if you were wanting the champion and the soul, it was about 40 sacred shards, which is what somebody else kind of confirmed, assuming about 40 plus for both of them, and that is why they've been supporting sacred shards for months. So it does depend on how many of the resources you are actually going to have available and how much energy it is going to take and cost. So somebody is saying about 10k gems, and there's speculation that people are like, I was hoping for a champ training and shards. Someone else is like, I was hoarding gems, hoping for a Titan event. And as I kind of mentioned, that we weren't sure if it would be a Titan event, a Hero's Path, or what it would be. And since it is going to be one of these things that, right, they're giving you, you will be able to get the 5-star perfect soul, but you also, if you need Packmaster, you know he's going to be over here. So if you're looking to get both, it's definitely going to be a lot of points. And hopefully you've either, like I said, been saving up shards or saving up energy. But it seems like that's what people are talking about, that some are actually happy for what it is, others wish it was a different way, that they didn't do it like this. But at the end of the day, it's really going to depend on how many resources you've actually got, if you have enough to get it, and if you're going to be going for both, because that is the other thing. It all depends what you have available and what your priorities are, what you are planning on going for. At least now we know, and hopefully you guys have your resources saved. As I said, I know early on when they announced the Throat Ripper fusion, for a lot of people it was like, well, I wasn't playing out time of Packmaster, or couldn't do his fusion at the time. Is it worth it for me to go for it? And a lot of people were actually saying, yeah, like still get him, because at least you have half the champ. So now that we know it is going to be a hero path that we actually have going on, it makes it, I guess, a little more crystal clear for us. So for those of you, you already have Throat Ripper, you don't really need to, if you already have Packmaster, you don't really need to worry about going ahead and going down and getting him, because now you're just getting the perfect soul for Throat Ripper. But if you are somebody who just finished Throatripper Fusion and you want to prioritize, it's going to make sense that rather than going for the perfect soul, you actually go for the champion. You go ahead and try to get Packmaster. And then hopefully you will either pull a perfect soul for him, come across it in the shop, one of those things. But if you do have to prioritize one over the other, I think it's going to make sense to go ahead and get Packmaster. If you can get both, I mean, even better, right? Why would you not want both? Getting that 5-star perfect soul is only going to make your champion even stronger. But at least we know, so you have a little bit of time to actually prepare for it if you weren't sure when it was. We knew it'd be soon, right? You know it's gonna be following soon as we finish that fusion. But overall, I'm just sending you guys all of the luck out there if you are gonna be going for it, especially if you are going for both. This being Packmaster, of course, they did also change his skills to actually include Throatripper, if you hadn't seen that, but I'm sure you checked it as soon as Throatripper did come out. So now his skills are kind of including that other champion in there. And I do still think that they would be great together. There's definitely a few places they would do really well together. But as we know, don't always go by the reviews in game, because that was when he actually came into the game before they brought Throatripper in. And now them together for Hydra is going to be, of course, a great pairing for these two champions together. So again, if you've got both of them, then that's awesome. But if you've already done the fusion for this one, rather than going for the perfect soul, it definitely makes sense to go ahead and grab this champion so that at least you'll have that duo complete. Side note, when I put out my video, and it was when Kurosa, it had the ×10 chance. I didn't have many primals, but I pulled him. You guys got so mad and you're like, this is why you don't pull out of a ×2. Guys, Ratos is calling to me. It's a ×15 chance. Now I'm not gonna do it. Put that out there. No, I am not going to actually do it. I only got 2 primal shards, let's be honest here. But I will say that the temptation is there. Seeing him, I do have all of 18 ancient shards to be able to potentially get him. But yeah, no, the ×15 chance. I'm not gonna go for it this time. But I will say, yeah, the temptation is definitely there. I thought it was funny. And now anytime I see this, and anytime I see like a ×15 chance, it just brings me back to when I pulled out of a ×2. And that you guys are like, Cece, no, don't do that. Stop pulling. It's not worth it. For a ×10 or whatever it would be like chance. If it's not out of a boosted rate specifically, not to do it. But I'll tell you guys, anytime I see this champion pop up in anything, I'm like, ooh, now it's my chance. But I'll remain strong this time. If you download Raid Shadow Legends using my link, I'm actually going to start you off with the free legendary champion on day 1, and then at level 10, level 20, and level 30, you'll get yourself an epic. That is 4 amazing champions that you can get just by downloading using my link. That is it for today's video. I really just wanted to share with you guys, in case you didn't know or you hadn't seen it yet, what is actually coming, what is next, and giving you a little bit of time to prepare, of course. Now, I am curious. I want you guys comment down below if you are going to be going for either of these with this Orc's Path, if you're ready for it, or if you already had Packmaster. Are you happy to know that it is a hero path versus a Titan event? Leave those thoughts down below, and be sure, of course, that you guys subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!